Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on time you're watching this video. My name is Abdullah Silva Tedeje, the Flip Classroom expert, and I'm so excited to be recording this video on becoming a teacher of influence. I'm so excited. This is a topic I'm so much very passionate about, and the reason for that is that I firmly believe that as a teacher, there's a limit to what you can achieve if you are not an influential teacher. See, every teacher you admire out there today, the only reason why you have admired them today is because they have some level of influence. And the reason why I'm doing this is, though I love to start with this. Let me share a quick story with you before I get started, so you can know what influence is and how why it's very important. There's nothing you want to do in life as a teacher that does not require some level of influence. And what is influence? Influence is simply the effect you have on people. Okay, so the only reason why you teach your students and they learn from you is because you have influence on them. If you don't have the influence, then you won't be able to teach them. You will teach them, but they will not learn because they will not respect you. Okay, they will not respect your word. Okay, so before I share the story, let's just go on to the definition of influence. So in this training or in this video or webinar, I'm going to just talk on a bit on what is influence, who is the teacher of influence, why you need to build influence as a teacher, and how to build influence as a teacher. So I don't want this to be more than 30 minutes. I'm going to just make it short and concise, straight to the point. But trust me, you're going to get a lot of value from here. If you're watching this, probably watching this, you're definitely watching this on YouTube. So make sure, please, you like the video and subscribe. Also, make sure you share it with other people, other teachers that need to build influence in your circle. Okay, so what is influence? Influence is the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone or something or the effect itself. So influence is both a noun and both is both is a noun actually, and is also a verb. So influence is when you influence people. Okay, that's influence. When you affect people, when you affect people, when you bring about change in the way people act, in the way people do things, that is you having influence on them. Okay, that exact thing that you have on them is also what influence. So you have just influenced them. Okay, that's the verb. And what you did or what you have on them that make them change their behavior is also called influence. Okay, so the idea is that to impact anybody, to help anybody. So whenever you are able to change people's life or you're able to change behaviors of people, you're able to bring about any changes in people, you have to have influence. You you have influence on those people. So what it means is that to be able to do all these things as a teacher, to be able to have effect on your students, to be able to help them develop good behaviors, to be able to teach them and you want them to learn, you have to have influence on them. It's very, very important. So influence is simply that the ability, the capacity that you have built to be able to have effects on other people's behavior, other people's action, on characters of other people, on what other people do, on the beliefs of other people, on the thought pattern of other people. Okay, so when you hear someone, when you call someone an influencer, it means this is someone that can if that have effect on what people do. Okay, that's why you have seen brands take what is it called? Brands have influencer, brands have ambassadors. They have brand ambassadors, and you see is it Glow? Glow is going to put Brother Shaggy on their flyer or on their banner. What they're trying to tell you is that Brother Shaggy is someone that is influential, that has people that have following, that have people that respect him, people that are very subscribed now to his philosophy, or people that follows him and people that follow him, and because of that he have effect on them. So if you ask them to go this way, they will definitely go that way. So when you see some of the people you look up to, you admire a lot, using a particular product, you also want to use that product, also want to try it out. That's what they call influence. So influence is just, and this is something, and this can be direct or indirect. Direct is something it is direct when you intentionally do it. It is indirect when it just happened. Now let me tell you this: as a teacher, you are an influential teacher, you are an influential person, though indirectly, because everything you do as a teacher influences your students. Everything you do as a teacher affects your students. That's why you say teachers are natural models. You model. Okay? So as a teacher, everything you do affects. In fact, not just as a person, everything you do affects other people. There are a lot of people that look up to you that you never know. They'll never say anything about it. But they look at what they admire the way you dress, they admire the shoes you wear, they admire the way you walk, and they do things like you. That's influence. It is indirect. But guess what? There's a challenge with it. Indirect influence. Excuse me. Indirect influence does not give you the reward you deserve. Indirect influence does not give you the reward you deserve. That's why we have to take it from indirect influence to direct influence. Direct influence is when you intentionally do this thing, or intentionally seek or intentionally position yourself as someone that have effect on other people's behavior. And these are actually very broad. It cuts across a lot of areas. You can have influence on your students, have influence on parents, have influence on your fellow teachers, have influence in a particular industry. Okay, so it goes on like that. Now, so let me share this. So, part of having influence is that you gain people's respect, you earn people's trust, because people can only change because of you when they trust you and they feel like, okay, you have a better option for them, so they go for it. Okay, so that's simply the idea. Now, let me give you this background on what influence is all about. Okay, so I started training teachers. Organizing training for teachers. And because this is actually what I do most of the time. So most of what I'm going to talk about here is going to relate to that. Training of teachers, sharing of knowledge, and also your students too. Okay. So I started training of teachers in 2020 while I was still in Port Harcourt. Training of teachers on how to use technology to teach, how to do all those things. Now let me give you this very short story. So while I was in Port Harcourt in 2020, I started going to schools. I'm going to write letters to school. I'm going to write letters and take it to schools and tell them that and actually ask for the opportunity to train their teachers on how to teach online, how to use all these tools. I remember, and there's a school in Port Harcourt in Burkina. The school is SBM Flourish. That was the first school I taught. That was the first school I trained. Okay, that was the first school I trained. I trained the school after the training. The school owner, who I have some kind of have relationship with, and that's actually what gave me the opportunity in the first place. That's an influence on its own. Okay, because of the relationship, I was invited. I was accepted to come and train the teachers, and they give me some amount of money. I was so happy. Wow, that's like the first time I'm going to get paid for things like for training people. After then, I took letters to a lot of other schools. I remember there are some schools that are going to give me dates. Okay, come this time. I'm going to okay check back. I'm going to get back to you. They will not get back. I will go there again, and there will not be anything. Okay, so it was like me begging them for something I have, something I know, something I can do, something I can teach them, something that's going to be of benefit for them. It's me like chasing them around. Why? Influence. Okay, the level of influence at that particular time. Now, fast forward in 2021, that was what is that late 2020 and early 2021. So in May 2021, I left Port Harcourt. I relocated and I keep doing my things online. I keep pushing out myself. I keep putting out content. I keep organizing trainings online. And guess what happened? In December 2021, I was invited by a school, by two schools actually. So as at that time, I'm no longer based in South, so I'm no longer based in Port Harcourt, I'm not based in Kwara State. Okay, and so I got invited from two schools to come and train their teachers in January 2022. Yes, so I was invited to come and train a school in Warri. Yes, Brightfield International School. And I was invited to come and train a school in Port Harcourt, Vision Vine. Uh, I think international school too. So the idea is that when I was in Port Harcourt, I was running after people, running after schools to train their teachers for free. But I wasn't given the opportunity. Why? Because they don't feel like it is something I can do. That's why I say to influence people, you have to have earn their respect. You have to have the effect to make them. You have to have that effect on their behavior, on their decision. Okay, there have to be some level of credibility, some level of authority that you have that make you feel like whatever you say you want to do, you can actually do it, or even just give you the opportunity. Okay, so fast forward. So at a point, I wasn't given the opportunity, even though I want to do it for free. It got to a point I was invited, paid, I mean, paid to come all the way from Kwara State to Port Harcourt to come and do the training that I've been begging schools in Port Harcourt to allow me to do for them for free. To come and do it by getting paid for it. What made the difference? It is not really the skill because I have the same skill as at that time. It is the influence, it is the level of the credibility, it is uh the respect that I'm now commanded at that particular time. And there are a lot of stories like that. Okay, I've been to. Let me give you this example too. I remember in that same 2021, September 2021. I went to a school in Ibadan. Take a letter to the school. This time around, it's not free again. It's me just taking letters to the school and asking them that okay, introducing the flip classroom to them and explaining what it's about and if they're going to like me to train their teachers on it. And the first question one of the teachers, what the school, when I asked me was, okay, which school did I finish from? And I'm actually making this, yeah. So, and I answered, okay, I'm not finishing the school yet. I'm still, I have an NC certificate and I don't have a degree yet. And I was like, how do you expect an NC holder to train teachers who are BSc? I tried to explain. It does not really matter. It's not this. It's not that. Come on. I was very pained, but the idea too was influence and also visibility matters a lot. I'm still going to go to all these things because it is people who know you that you can influence. Okay, it's people who have come across that you can influence. As at this particular time around, I've been invited to Lagos to come and train teachers. Okay, as at that 2021, September 2021, I've been invited to Lagos to train teachers. Okay, that was the first time I'm going to be invited to Lagos to come and train teachers. I have been, but the only reason why that is possible is because the person that invited me has been exposed to what I have. So my content, okay, due to my content already give me that position of having an effect on that person's decision that the person can decide, okay, we want to bring this person all the way from Kwara State to Lagos State to come and join our teachers, not for free, paid. Okay, but the idea is that, so what I want to say is, so fast forward again to 2022, I trained 9 schools or even more than 9. Yes, I trained 9 schools in 2022. Okay, like invited to train in 9 schools. Part of them is the one I mentioned, the two I mentioned earlier in Port Harcourt, Warri, in Lagos, Ogun State, Oyo State. I was invited to facilitate training in one of the in my I've not been to small school before, regardless of their size. I was invited to come and to train in Trinity College in Ofada. If you know Trinity College, you know how big Trinity College is. I wanted to come and train Lower School, Lower School in Jakonde Estate in Lagos. So what am I trying to say? Is what influence. So things change. Okay, there are some opportunities you can have access to if you don't have some level of influence. Okay, most of the things you sometimes you have wonder, I have these things, I know how to do these things, but people don't consider me for opportunity to give it to people who don't even have as much as I have. The idea is your level of influence. Okay, when you have influence, when you have effect on the people, like when you have positioned yourself, when you have that credibility and authority to that extent where people can invite you, okay, or can give you some opportunity, or can even beg you for opportunity. That is what we mean by what? Influence. Okay, so why do you need, so is a teacher of influence? Number one, as a teacher of influence, and yeah, I'm taking this out of school, out of your classroom, because you already have influence in your classroom. The reason why you are teaching in your classroom, your students are learning it from you. Okay, is because you have influence on them. But here we're talking about outside the classroom. Okay, outside the classroom. So number one is that you have to be known for something. Everything I've mentioned earlier is only possible because I was known. I am known. I am still known for something. There was a time it was teaching with technology. It was then this flip classroom. So right now, when you see me anywhere and I introduce myself as Abdulatif Adedeji, the flip classroom expert. That was what I was known. That was what I am known for. So if you want to become a teacher of influence or any teacher of influence, they are always known for something. And there's something I would like to mention here, and please, if you have not been writing down, get a note and write this down. Is that as a teacher of influence have at least two quality. Number one is that there is always a particular thing that when they mention their name, that thing comes to people's mind. So there are places where when you mention Abdulatif Adedeji, the flip classroom will pop into their head, into their mind. It come up immediately. The second thing is that there is something also that when you mention a particular thing, that names comes to people's mind. So let me ask you: is there anything that whenever they mention it, that you are going to, even if not the first person, probably the first 10 person, your name is going to be among the first 10 person people are going to think of when you talk to when we are talking about a particular thing? Okay, is it classroom management? Is it school leaders training? Is it mathematics? Anything you can think about. Is it phonics? Is it Montessori? Is it communication? What is it? Whatever you can call it. So the first thing, so part of the quality of teacher of influence, or is it that every teacher of influence have, every influential teacher have, is that they are known for something. And whenever you are talking about this particular thing, they're given the accord, they're given the respect, and they have credibility in that particular thing. Number two is that they have impact on people's life. So when you talk about influence, one of the things you have to know that influence itself is a result of something. Influence is an effect that you have on people. But itself, before you can have effect on people, you must have done something with them. So there's this saying that says, responsibility always goes along with authority. Influence, authority is an example of influence. Okay, when you have authority in people, you mean you have influence on them. Okay, but you see, responsibility is impact. So before you can have influence on people, you must have taken responsibility for something in their life. So when I say, okay, I was being invited to come and train teachers and do all these things, is that before that happens, I have been visible. I have been training, not just training, I have been educating teachers on how technology works, why you should use technology in your classroom, the benefits, the advantages. I've been doing a lot of things about that thing. So the idea is that every teacher of influence are impactful teachers. They are teachers of impact. Before you can become a teacher of influence, must have been a teacher of impact, must have been someone that is dedicated and committed to impacting people's life. So when you impact people's life, then you're going to have influence on those people, because once you take responsibility for 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 someone, you automatically have some level of authority on them. And that's why, just think about it. All the teachers that you admire today, that will say, "Oh yeah, go for this training, you're going to go." Whatever, call for training today and you're going to, think twice before you register for the training. What is common with them is that in one way or another it impacted you. Some of you here are members of my community that are watching this, you're members of my community. In April, we had a 5 days bootcamp, 5 days massive bootcamp, progressive educators bootcamp. That's a way of impacting teachers. It's a free bootcamp. In fact, I even awarded a certificate for teachers, for participants, for free. It's a completely free bootcamp, 5 days, 5 speakers every day. But what is the idea? That's me impacting teachers. Okay, so when I come the next day and say, okay, I have this product, I have this training, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I need your help. The influence, the impact is there already. So the impact give birth to the influence. Okay, the reason why you're watching this video today is because you believe that, okay, whatever this man wants to say is going to be of value to me. That's example of influence. Also, the last one is track record of success. Okay, so I've said you have something you are known for, but you also have a track record of success. So in that particular thing that you are known for, you have achieved massive success in it. So not just success that you achieved today, or success another way is that whatever you are known for is not something you just do today and then you stop. It has to be consistent. So for example now, as a teacher, there are some things that happen in your school where something will happen and the first thing school now will say is, go and call Mr. Lagbaja for me, or go and call Miss Lagbaja for me. Why? Because they already know that person has some track record of success, or they say a particular student is having an issue with a particular student, and they say, oh, this particular thing, go on, I recommend this person for you. Okay, I recommend this person, I recommend this person, I recommend that person. That is the idea. So in anything you're doing, you have to have a track record of success. Okay, you have to be so good at it. Okay, that's what it means. So these are things that every influencer teacher you know out there have in common. Okay, so why do you need to build influence as a teacher? Number one, impact on a larger scale. Remember, I said impact is what gave birth to influence. But there are some impacts you cannot make with some level of without influence. Okay, so when you make impact and the impact give you an influence, okay, then that influence can give you the opportunity to make impact on a larger scale. On a larger scale. So let's say, for example, you have been having a webinar, you've been training teacher, producing content for people, and you have been posting content on Facebook or on social media. You have been teaching people for free on a lot of things. Okay, and guess what? You now decide that okay, now I want to have a particular summit. I want to have a virtual program that's going to contain 1,000 people. Now, because you already have influence, because you have been making impact already, so you have people that are following you. Now feel like, okay, this thing I want to do, I cannot do it alone. I need people that can volunteer for this course. I need people that can be part of my team. Now, because you're already making impact for a long time, and naturally and automatically, people look up to you already. People are ready to help you already. So you now call us, okay, hello, please, I'm thinking of doing this, and I need people's help. I need people's support. That is it. So because you already have you have made impact in people's life already. You have some level of influence on them already. So when you come and ask for help, people are more willing to help you. So when they help you, you are able to make impact on a larger scale. Okay, another one is educational improvement. So there are some reforms, there are some decisions, there's a policy that you can push for in education when you have some level of influence. You know, there are some teachers, or there are some personalities that government invites. So to come and discuss on educational policy, to come and discuss to come and discuss ideas. There are people who consult for state government, who consult for federal government on education. They are teachers like you and me. But the idea is that they have to have some level of influence. They have to be have been doing a lot of things. They have to have like a track record of success, a high level of credibility, a high level. They have to have been an authority figure. Okay, an authority figure in their field before they can be able to do that. Opportunities, there are some opportunities you can never have access to. Okay, if you don't have some level of influence. Because there's some opportunity that, in fact, there's some opportunities that don't get publicized outside there. They don't get publicized outside there. But because of the influence you have, because of being in the right environment, you can actually get those opportunities. Or just by recommendation, I've a lot of a lot. When I mentioned Laurel School the other time that I went to train Laurel School, there's actually someone like the head teacher, a head teacher who was an educational consultant that recommended me for the school. That recommended me to the school. That is it. Opportunity. Also professional growth. There's some environment, there's some trainings. There's some trainings that you cannot pay for. They are free. Okay, but it takes some level of influence or some level of credibility to be part of those trainings. Okay, so there are collaborations, there are a lot of professional, there are a lot of development opportunities, a lot of opportunities to become a better teacher that you cannot have if you have some level of influence. Because there's some environment you cannot even be to, there's some conversation you cannot be part of without having some level of influence. Okay, and then the last thing is income. See, there's always going to be a limit. See, I mentioned the other time that impact creates income. Sorry, impact creates influence. When you have influence, do you know what influence creates? Influence creates income. Okay, there's some level of income that you cannot make. Just think of it. The people you have paid online, or you have attended their trainings, or things that you have paid for. Why do you pay for them? Why do you pay for them? It's because the person has, you feel like this person has some level of influence. Number one, let me give you this example. I've been in 2022, I was invited to come and train in school. Okay, and the training is going to be in 2 weeks' times. But guess what? The school now paid the amount of the training fee completely immediately. This is this was 2022. They paid She paid in full. In 2 weeks, in for a training that is going to be aired 2 weeks before that particular time. What is the idea? The idea is that there's that level of trust. This someone that have been seeing my content, have been seeing me doing a lot of things. So they already have that trust that this person is not, people, there are some people you pay that you know that number one, it's not your money that is going to they cannot run away with your money. Okay, so they have that level of credibility already. They have that level of trust. They have built that trust already with people that you already know that okay, even if I pay this person my money, they cannot run away with my money. That is it. And by building influence, people get to know you, they get to like you, and they get to trust you. And so they can easily part with their money, knowing that they're going to get the value for the money they're going to pay you. And there are some income opportunities, there's some money making opportunities that you cannot have access to if you don't have some level of influence. There's some people that cannot pay you, there's some organization that cannot pay you, they don't see that you have some level of what? Influence. So these are the reasons why you should build the influence as a teacher. So how do you build influence as a teacher? Wait, it seems I've passed one. Okay, so how do you build influence as a teacher? Number one, impact beyond classroom. You have to know. The first thing you have to do is that take everything you're doing in the classroom, take it beyond the classroom. If everything you do is limited to the classroom, you have limited your influence automatically. Okay, go and see every teacher of influence that you see today. Okay, see, you have there are a lot of awards that educators get. They have Motivational Teacher of the Year award. A lot of awards like that, Best Teachers of the Year, World Teacher, Cambridge Best Teacher, Global Teacher Award. All these awards, they are awards that you cannot get without some level of influence. There are some of them that require people to vote for you. People will not vote for you if you don't feel like you have something to offer, or if you don't have influence on them. If they have not seen you do things before. So all these things actually depend or happen because these people are making impact beyond the classroom. Go and check every teacher you know today. The only reason why you know them is because they are doing things beyond their classroom. When they do something in their classroom, they share it on social media. They share it. They let people know what they're doing. They impact people beyond the classroom. They teach students beyond their classroom. They do a lot of things and they are not limiting it to their what? Classroom. Number two, branding. You have to be known for something. Brand is perception. Branding is simply an intentional commitment to shaping people's perception of you. How do you want people to think? What do you want people to think about you? What do you want to be known for? Okay, how are you positioning yourself? So you want to become a teacher of influence, you can't just show up every day. You cannot go to your timeline and the only thing we see is birthday or see other people eating jollof rice with 99 other people. You see other people's content on your timeline. You see you just post anything you like, just post one, or your profile picture just put anything, or you have name like this coin something, miss something, or you customize your name. No, branding, you have to be seen as someone, or you have to be seen as someone that is serious. Yes, someone that is serious. So everything you have to, so as a teacher of influence, there are a lot of things you cannot afford to do what the other person is doing. The pages you follow are very, very important because when you say influential people is a responsibility on its own, knowing that whatever you do is affecting other people. When you say you are a teacher of influence, it means that you have people who are following you. You have people who subscribe, who trust you, who believe in you, who will do whatever you do, who admire you, who just by the fact that you do something you also want to try it. And so you have the responsibility to make sure that you get them on the right path. Because if you go on the wrong path, they're going to follow you there. Okay, so branding is very, very important. Branding is the way you communicate to people who you are, what you're about, and what you want them to know. So when you see Abdulatif come and say, my name is Abdulatif, the Flip Classroom Expert, it's a branding. You see this particular slide now. You see, you have my logo, Good Money Educators Academy. You have my picture, you have my name, you have the title, Flip Classroom Expert. They are intentional, they are branding. So I make sure that I say this everywhere so that whenever you hear Flip Classroom Expert, you already know who they are talking about. That is branding. Being known for something. Okay, being intentional about what you are known for. Number three is advocacy. Advocacy, what I mean by advocacy is that you have to have a movement. You have to have something that you are calling people to do, a mission. So, for example, now, for me now, what I advocate for is the use of technology, intentional use of technology to facilitate student-centered learning. uh, what's it called? Empowering teachers to create business out of their teaching career. You know, advocating for using of technology to improve teaching and learning. That's what I advocate for. What about you? What is that thing that you're doing in your classroom that you feel like the world needs to know about? That the world needs to subscribe to? What information? What transformation? What changes? What ideas do you have that you want people to subscribe to? Yes, because you cannot build influence around nothing. You have to build influence around something. So when you hear people say influence, influential, all these things, you don't just build influence on nothing. There has to be something you build influence on. And part of building influence on something is that you have to have something you are advocating for. So when you say when people mention your name, there has to be something that comes to their mind. There has to be something that comes to their mind. Number four, become an author. See, authority. The word authority comes from the word author. Okay, author means create something. Write a book on that particular thing that you are advocating for. Write a book on it. And trust me, a book is not the only thing you can author. You can author a course. You can author a workbook. You can author a guide. Write something. Have something published. Have a information material on it. For example, now this that I'm doing now, that's an information material. This is and this is my intellectual property. The idea that I'm talking about how to be an influencer as a teacher, what it means is that it's communicating to people that I'm a teacher of influence already. Because you cannot teach on what you don't have. You cannot give what you don't have. So when you teach on something, or when you write on something, or when you author something on a particular subject, people already automatically see you as an authority in that field. Because people will feel like if you don't know what you're talking about, you cannot come here and be talking about it. It is people that are there's let me quickly talk about this. And because part of what you're going to have issue with when you're trying to be an influence as a teacher is imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome is simply that feeling of being an imposter, feeling unwanted, feeling that you are not enough, that you don't have what it takes. And I always say this, say competence breed confidence. Competence breed confidence. When you know something, you give you the confidence to show up. So what it means is that when people see you show up, okay, when people see you show, or when people see that you have the confidence, or when they see that you show up confidently talking about a particular thing, they automatically see or think or believe that you are competent in that particular area. So if you want people to see you as being an authority in a particular field, author something, write about it, publish a book, write a course, train people. It can be even a free book. Yes, it can be a free book. It doesn't have to be paid. But author something on it. Number five, visibility. See, if you want to become an influential teacher, you cannot afford to be inside your house. You cannot afford to limit everything you're doing to just one corner of your room. Everything you are doing has to be out there. Not necessarily everything like that, but at least, and this is where branding comes in. Branding is showing people what you want them to know about you, not really showing them everything about you. I'm not asking you to come out and tell them all your life story, your personal matter, your family matter, and come and put out for the world to see, just in the name of building influence. But it's the idea that you decide what you want people to know. So you have decided who you want people to know about, what you want people to know you for. So what you need to do now is be visible. Everything you're doing about that particular thing, let people see you. That's why you see someone have a training. You see me have a particular training, get invited to your channel. I'm going to post it. See me I recently had a summit in my school, National University of Education, called the Future of Education Summit. I posted it. I posted out for people. I let people to know about it. After the event, I posted about it. Let people know that it's a success. That is me being visible, and that is building my influence more. So when you see someone and someone is thinking of, okay, we have an event that we want to do, we need someone that can manage it for us, that can coordinate it for us, that can help us to work on it. Okay, you see this person has done this thing before. You should be able to help us. When I was still very much, right now because of school activity, I've not really been very consistent with Flip Classroom. But guess what? Trust me, I'm coming back, fully back. But what I want to share with you is that because I was very visible talking about Flip Classroom, I have people who are having their masters and their projects in their research topic in their masters is Flip Classroom. And they come to my gym and ask me questions about it. It is what? Feasibility. Another one is collaboration. Say, collaboration is the new competition. We have gone past the idea of it's me, or you are trying to compete with other people. Collaborate with people to build influence, to have big influence. Because, okay, let me give you this. The event I said I just held, I invited people who are very big to the event. The first is that the idea that they're going to collaborate is part of collaboration. Is the idea that I'm going to invite people of such nature and of such personality as influential as them, and they're going to accept the invitation means that they trust you or they have regard for you because they see that you're a valuable person. And that's it. You cannot become a person of influence and not be a valuable person. Value attracts value. When you are valuable, people of value will come for you and you attract valuable people. So you have to be willing to collaborate. You have to be willing to help people, and they will also be willing to help you. So I invited people who are very influential. The idea, the only reason why I can invite them is because I have some level of influence myself. But guess what? Inviting them also build on my influence because when people say, this person invited this person, they feel like, this person was very big. Okay, this person was very big too. Because when you invite, it's just a natural order of things that big people invite big people. So when people see you, it's just like having someone that you trust or having a very big influencer that you know very well. Being on the flyer, you see the person on the flyer, and then you see someone else next to the person on the flyer. Automatically, you are giving the same, you are transferring the regard, the respect you have for that particular influencer to the person you don't even know yet just because you feel like they are on the same flyer. So when you have, so when you want to have, so part of being your influence is that you collaborate with people. For example, now you have training with some other people, and you have flyers. You have there's a particular influencer you collaborate with. I've seen people like the influencer like Emeka Nobis that organize that collaborate with people that are just coming up. The idea is that when you see people collaborate with people that you already know, okay, you are transferring the influence, you're transferring the influence that those people have on you already, you're transferring it to the other people. And then lastly, continuous personal and professional growth. So this is, I've been trying to make this to be the last one. It's supposed to be the first one. So everything I'm talking about, I've said valuable, be valuable, you share value. You can't give what you don't have. Part of being an influential person, part of your responsibility, your lifelong commitment and responsibility is that you have to keep adding value to yourself. There's this saying that says this someone that you value, there's something that you value that you add value to. When you are valuable, you must add value to yourself. So when you add value to yourself, when you invest in yourself, is an expression of self-love. It's an expression that you value yourself. Okay, and when you know that people value, when you know that you have it's just like someone that have responsibility to give. I know that you see our mothers and our fathers, they go out there, they have to look for money because they have children at home that they have to feed. The same thing for you. You know you have responsibility. You have people that you take care of. You have people that look up to you. You have people that learn from you. You have people that get insight and knowledge from you. Then you have to also take up the responsibility of learning every day because you don't want them to meet you where they left you. Okay, so you have to keep investing in yourself. You have to keep learning professionally, personally, attend events, go to come. That's another way of building influence. When you go to events, you connect with people. You know, some events you go to that people already see that there are some events that everybody you meet is a person of value. So people believe that anybody, there's some event that everybody there is a person of, for example, now let's say you attended a training where you have to pay 20,000 or 10,000 or 50,000 as a part of the training. So you already know automatically that everybody in that particular room paid the same amount that you paid. So what it means is that every person in that room is a person of value. They are more willing, they are more open to connect with you. They don't see you as just someone out there that is any regular fan or just anybody that is trying to just connect with them, okay, for selfish reasons. So they see you as someone of the same caliber because you both put your hand in your pocket and pay the same amount of money to be in that particular room. Invest in yourself. Read books. I can't take this. I can't emphasize this enough. Read books. Invest in yourself. Read books. Go for training. Attend webinar like this. But if we don't limit it to free alone, don't limit it. There's some information you cannot get from attending free things, and I have to tell you matter of factly, hey, I'm the one doing this. It's free for everybody, but there's some things I can't teach you for free because I don't learn them for free too. Yes. So when I start saying, there was a particular time I go to schools, I took letters to them, and uh they don't even honor the invitation. They don't even ask me to. They don't get back to me. What I don't if tell you about or mention was the amount of trainings, the number of books, the amount of money I spent between those particular stages of my life. Yes, it's not small. The amount of training that I attended. Then I told you I was based in Kwara State. Then I traveled all the way from Kwara State to Lagos to go and attend trainings. The first training I ever attended in Lagos, first event I ever attended in Lagos, is We Money of Lagos. There's this song that they have yearly, We Money of Lagos. So it was, I think, July 10, or yes, I want July 10. Is it July 10? Yes, July 10, 2021. After that, in October, I came all the way from Kwara State, all the way from Offa. So I attend Global Business Masterclass by Edwina Jowo. You can check the name out. See how big she is. So that is it. So the idea is that when you invest in yourself, you have to have the, when you know that you want to give, you have to know that if you don't have, you cannot give. So to give, you must have. So to teach, you must learn. To teach, you must know. To give value, you must be valuable. So you have to keep investing in yourself. And I hope with this, I've given you the short formula. You cannot do all this thing and not become a child of influence. So decide what you're going to start with this. Start impacting beyond your classroom. Brand yourself. Don't just be just any person. Separate yourself. Be different. Be unique. Advocacy. Advocate for things. Talk about what you believe. Talk about your belief. Talk about ideas. Become an author. Author something. Visibility. Be visible. Visible. Be visible. It's not the best that get the job. It is the best known that get the job. Collaboration. Collaborate with people and continuous personal and professional growth. So if you have any question, just put in the comments, and I'll be glad to answer you. Thank you so much for being part of this. I hope you really learned from this. I said this is not going to be up to more than 30 minutes, but come on, this is wow. So I hope this has been valuable for you so far. This is 42 minutes already. 42 minutes. I hope you have learned so much from this, and I can't really. I hope this has been valuable for you so far. Thank you so much for being part of this. If you have, and I would love to hear from you. How is this for you? What do you learn from this? Put it in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Do you have any question? And if you'd like to attend my trainings, I have trainings of Flip Classroom that you can get for, that you can register for. I have my ongoing training, student-centered integration masterclass. You can also be part of that, so it's going to be of value to you. You can reach out to me on 09037279843, and make sure you subscribe to this channel, like the video, share the link with your friends, get the value. That's part of it. Impact people when you share it with them. You're communicating that you have their best interest in mind, that you want the best from for them. And so when you do that, whenever they see something like this too, profitable or valuable, they're also going to share it with you. All right. So thank you so much for joining this. I really hope that you learn from it. Thank you so much, and I'm going to see you at the top because that is where I am going to be.